There used to be a time when YouTube felt personal. You would open the site and the homepage wasn't this curated feed of corporate perfection. It was a chaotic, beautiful mess. It was awkward vlogs, heavily pixelated thumbnails, and weird experimental videos made by people who were just trying things out. You didn't need a red digital camera, you didn't need a soundproof studio lined with acoustic foam, and you certainly didn't need a 50-person editing team analyzing your retention graphs. You just needed a webcam, a messy bedroom, and a personality.
And that nowadays has been lost. You don't need a personality. Like you can rage bait, sell your soul, and do all these things, and then you can make it to the top. I'm not gonna lie, blowing up is easy. You just gotta sell your soul. Honestly.
Back then, it was PewDiePie screaming at horror games in the dark, Smosh shooting sketch comedy in their suburban backyard, Ryan Higa, Markiplier, Filthy Frank, Roman Atwood. The content was colorful, playful, and completely raw, and unapologetically flawed. The creators were just regular people speaking directly into a lens, building a genuine connection with the viewer. It was the exact, literal embodiment of the platform's founding promise. Their slogan was right there on the logo: broadcast yourself. And we believed it. We thought this was the new television. Finally, an unfiltered democratization of media where the gatekeepers were gone and anyone with a good idea could win. But if you look at the homepage today, that promise feels like a sick joke.
Bro, like look at this. Everyone just copying each other. There's no originality. Bro, what is this, bro? Like, generally, what is this? Nobody is like. Man.
It feels like a relic from a timeline that is long gone. So what happened? How did the wild west of the internet turn into this sterile, brand-safe, hyper-optimized factory? How did we go from a platform built for creators to a platform built for corporations? Now, the shift didn't entirely happen overnight, but there was a catalyst, an exact moment that old YouTube died. And it has a specific name and a specific year: the Adpocalypse of 2017. Here's how the golden era was slaughtered. For years, creators operated under an unspoken agreement with YouTube. You upload whatever you want, get the eyeballs, and YouTube will slap some ads on it and hand you a check. It was a gold rush. But in early 2017, traditional mainstream media outlets realized they were losing views to kids in their bedrooms. So they fought back. Outlets, most notably the Wall Street Journal, started running highly targeted hit pieces on YouTube's biggest stars. They published articles pointing out to major corporations that their ads were running alongside highly controversial, offensive, and completely unregulated videos.
Man.
They used PewDiePie as their primary scapegoat, taking edgy, out-of-context jokes and framing them as brand-destroying controversies. Suddenly, boomer executives in boardrooms across America were looking at screenshots of their AT&T, Coca-Cola, and Pepsi ads playing right before a video of a creator screaming obscenities. The brands panicked. Advertisers pulled their money out of YouTube by the billions, effectively overnight. It was a mass exodus. YouTube was bleeding out. They were facing an existential financial threat, and the executives in Silicon Valley learned a very harsh, very expensive lesson. Unfiltered human personality is a massive corporate liability. To win the advertisers back, YouTube had to prove that they had their creators on a leash. They declared martial law on the entire platform. They introduced the dreaded yellow monetization icon. Almost overnight, thousands of creators woke up to find their entire backlog demonetized. If your video wasn't perfectly sanitized, your income was instantly set to zero. There was no appeal process that actually worked. There was no human to talk to, just a cold, automated machine starving you out. But demonetization was just the first step. YouTube realized that simply removing ads wasn't enough to appease Wall Street. They had to change the fundamental DNA of the platform. So they completely overhauled the algorithm. They stopped looking at subscribers and community engagement and started looking almost exclusively at watch time and brand safety.
Bro, like, and this is the problem, bro. This is the problem. This is why YouTube would never be what it is today, because like they just don't value the connection. Being having a personality nowadays is it doesn't matter. Like you can be like, you can even have a bad personality back then, right? But if at least you have some sort of morals or standards for yourself, people will love that. You know what I'm saying? But nowadays, bro, you don't need none of that, bro.
They effectively killed the subscription box, the one tool that guaranteed your audience would actually see your video. And instead,
Yeah, I subscribe to so many people, and I don't even get any notifications.
they replaced the homepage with algorithms. And what did the new algorithm push? Late night talk show hosts, Will Smith, corporate backed music videos. The machine stopped rewarding passion and originality and started heavily pushing heavily produced, safe, predictable television. They had to prove to Wall Street that the site was under control. They traded the chaos of the teenage bedrooms for the safety of a corporate boardroom. And that desperate pivot for corporate approval brings us to the absolute hellscape of today. Now look, let me be clear. The door isn't closed. Anyone can still make a YouTube video today, even with zero budget. Anyone with a smartphone still has the capability to build an empire. But if you think you could just upload raw, honest videos
No.
and have it go viral
No.
like it's 2012,
Nope.
you're mistaken.
Yep.
You can't just be a creator anymore. You have to
Yeah.
become an analyst, a
Mhm.
behavioral psychologist. You have to
Exactly.
understand the exact primal triggers of human psychology and inject pure dopamine into the title and thumbnail
Yep.
just for a chance to be seen. You spend hours agonizing over the exact saturation of color red in your thumbnail, or whether your mouth is open wide enough to trigger a sub.
Bro, like that is so cringe to me. Like people just like with the thumbnails are like, it's so cringe, bro. Like I just don't get it, bro. Like you have to do all these things just to get people to click a video. Just to get people to click. And then you gotta do a whole nother thing just to get people to stay watching your videos. Crazy.
Conscious curiosity gap in the
Crazy.
viewer's brain. Because if they don't click, you don't exist.
Exactly.
You're competing in a ruthless attention economy against multi-million-dollar production companies disguised as YouTubers. And once you do get some clicks, the real nightmare begins. Your
Sure.
video better be squeaky clean. It has to survive the platform's invisible tests of automation sensors. It has to be truthful, whatever that arbitrary word means on the algorithm that day. You're allowed to be controversial, sure, but God forbid you're too controversial, or else the platform will shadow ban you into oblivion without even telling you. You have to walk this razor-thin tightrope. You must steer clear of anything the machine deems as a sensitive topic, because someone, somewhere in the world, might actually get deeply offended by your own personal opinions. And to the algorithm, an offended viewer is a viewer who might close the app. And don't you ever use profanity or include anything remotely edgy, sexy, or out of line. Why? Because an entire generation of lazy parents decided that iPads are cheaper than babysitters. We now live in an ecosystem where parents hand a glowing screen to their toddler and just walk away to drink their wine. So the burden of parenting their kids now falls on you as the creator. We have to completely castrate our own art. We have to bleep out our own speech, water down our own humor, and censor our own expression to protect unsupervised children whose parents can't be bothered to actually parent. Oh yeah, and just to be sure you're playing by these absolute sterile corporate rules, YouTube needs a literal copy of your government ID. You know, to help the kids stay safe, of course. But let's say you actually do all that. Let's say you follow every single sterile rule, censor every word, water down your personality, and hand over your literal passport. You're safe, right? Your business is secure. Wrong. Because YouTube doesn't even use human beings to enforce these rules anymore.
Exactly.
They now have a new AI algorithm to police the platform, and it's an absolute bloodbath. Right now, incredibly good, completely clean.
That's why everybody's channels is getting like deleted and all these things. I see it on Twitter every single time, bro. And then it's like you try to get help, you try to get a response from YouTube. They don't respond, and if they respond, it's not a human. And if you try to get a human, it takes forever. And sometimes, bro, I don't get it,
Perfectly
bro.
brand safe channels are getting nuked for no reason. People are waking up to find their channels demonetized or entirely shut down with absolute zero warning and zero strike.
And this is and another thing I wanted to say is, this is a video I do want to make. I wanted to talk about why, pretty much the top creators don't talk about problems like this. They Big creators will never talk about issues like this because they made it, right? They don't need to talk about stuff like this. They don't need to help push for smaller people to have a chance to win on a platform that changed, right? No one's ever gonna talk about stuff like this. Just how like big creators would never talk about what's going on in the world. They would never talk about issues that we face. You know what I'm saying? Like for me, if I was like at the top and I see people struggling with certain things, I would try to be that, not like a superhero, but I would try to help. If I have the contact, if I'm in contact with YouTube, I'm gonna be like, yo, listen, y'all gotta do this. Y'all gotta change this up because there's small creators out there that want to be, making videos, and y'all are prohibiting them from doing that. So, but they ain't gonna do that. No one's gonna do that.
They're just collateral damage, caught in the crossfire of mindless automation. They're getting flagged for reuse content or spam, losing them and their entire family's livelihood because the new AI filter doesn't know what to do yet. And what happens when your livelihood is ripped away from a faceless robot for absolutely no reason? Can you call YouTube? No, there's no humans at YouTube. Instead, you have to go over to X and desperately beg the
like that is the saddest. Like, and this is why I keep saying, why can't you text other people on YouTube? Like, I never understood that. Like there should be like the same way on Instagram, TikTok, any other social media app. You should be able to text people. Why can't you, like, you know what I'm saying? I don't understand this. Why do I have to go to a whole nother platform? A whole nother platform to get a response. That's like Twitch, right? You gotta go to a whole nother platform, which is TikTok, to bring people to Twitch. When Twitch should just have their own freaking app where everything just can run. It doesn't make sense, bro. It doesn't make sense.
Team YouTube account for a real person to look at your channel.
And if you have no like type of following on Twitter, forget it. You're done.
Think about how ridiculous that is.
Which I don't.
You have to go to an entirely different competing platform to publicly beg for an actual person at YouTube to look at your channel.
Yep.
This is why creators are terrified today. How can you confidently build a business on this platform? How can you buy a house or feed your family or hire a team when your entire livelihood relies on a company that is fundamentally untrustworthy? One false flag from a rogue AI and your entire career is deleted while you sleep. Lately, in the YouTube communities, I've been seeing a lot of people get their channels deleted and a lot of people deciding not to start their YouTube journey because they're afraid. And personally, I've always tried to encourage people to start a YouTube channel. It changed my life, and I think it can change yours too. But right now, I definitely don't blame people for being fearful. I'm pretty worried myself, to be honest. I truly hope YouTube can figure this out soon. These days, the videos look better than ever. The production value rivals blockbuster television. The money being made at the very top is astronomical. People are burying themselves alive, giving away private islands, and recreating Netflix shows in real life. And that's all just one person. It is incredibly spectacle, but it isn't you. The brutal truth is, YouTube hasn't actually been about you for a very long time. The platform grew up. It put on a suit and tie. It sold its soul to advertisers, outsourced its judgment to AI, and expects you to fall perfectly in line. The dream of becoming a YouTuber is still alive, but the cost of entry has fundamentally changed. You can no longer just hit record and see what happens. You can still broadcast yourself, as long as you're meticulous with your packaging, perfectly censor it, strip off all the rough edges, don't cuss, don't show anything sexual, beg for human decency on X, and hand over your government papers to the algorithm.
It's so funny when he says it, because it sounds like it's such a humiliation ritual. Like, it really is. Like, this is literally like wow. Wow. Wait, damn, that's it? Oh, that's one way to end the video.
The war on...
The white void has become a disease across the platform, infecting the biggest and the best. But my question is why? What's happened to the elaborate production of sets, Or, on the other hand, the homey, low-quality video, set in the living room on a couch with one camera and 7 engaging personalities. The earliest occurrence I found was this video from 9 years ago, and ironically, it's a sentimental, heartwarming video that sadly marks the beginning of the enslopification of YouTube. Let's look at Fortnite. It started off as a revolutionary battle royale, which brought building into the niche. In 2017, you might find a ramp, wall, the occasional box put around the map, and then...
What's a 90?
So 90. So if they're, you know, building up with you,
Yeah.
you just build.
What the
like, you can do
hell
that.
was that?
Ever since then, the game's become too advanced for any player to pick it up for the first time. A perfect example for the future of YouTube. With Mr. Beast's rise to fame, he started this gamification of YouTube.
Man, I'm not like I said, I'm not saying this is like pushing hate to another person, but my thing is, bro, Mr. Beast has made like this format. He has started this format that everybody's like, oh look, this format works because he's the most subscribed person in the world, so we all gotta copy him. We all gotta do it because it pulls all the views. But look how this turned out, bro. All your videos feel so unauthentic. It doesn't feel real. It feels fake. Like I don't know.
He's turned this creative video sharing medium into a formula that can be followed with editing and money. And this formula is everywhere. Thought the camera would be back there, didn't you? Anyway. You may know KSI as the Black Epic Sax guy. He started off his YouTube channel 14 years ago making personality-based content like gaming and pranks.
Hey guys, this is KSI LGBT.
Let's look at his channel now.
You see what I'm saying, bro? Like, this is just like, bro, I like KSI as well, but it's like you almost have to like buy into this type of content style just to fit in with the YouTubers, like, you know what I'm saying, the YouTuber cult, right? You gotta have the over the top thumbnails, right? You gotta have this overproduction. You gotta, and you know what I realized too? They all always talk the same. Like, what's up, guys? Yeah, you know, like, they always have that energetic, weird fake voice that they put on. It's, I don't know, bro. It's so weird.
Guess the blank. Make me blank win money. 20 of the last 24 of his videos are this exact same concept, recycled again and again in the same format. But if he keeps making these videos, the audience enjoys it, right? Well, what does this mean for you as the viewer? With an increasingly formulaic, analytical approach that creators are taking, viewers are being sucked into watching these high-impact, highly processed videos that take a lot of skill to make. And so, the bar for entering YouTube is rising, and so is the camera. There will be no next PewDiePie, posting raw 10-minute screen-recorded Minecraft gameplay with commentary over it, simply because the audience for it is disappearing. The entire platform was and is being sucked into the void of efficiency and audience retention. A complete loss for originality and creativity.
No!
As Mr. Beast has shown, the most effective, attention-grabbing nature of a video is the spectacle. The personality is leaving for the event. And with YouTube's business model, more and more the question being asked isn't how can I engage with my audience, it's how can I grow my audience in any way possible. And maybe that way is getting rid of themselves as the creator in favor of the production, like KSI's done. But something the viewers, us, have control over is what we watch. Just as the fall of Constantinople marked the start of the Renaissance, Mr. Beast's domination is entering a reset. An example of this reset is Sam Sulek. Sam Sulek has 5 million subscribers, and in his latest 30-minute video, there were 10 cuts. That's one cut every 3 minutes.
I mean, I feel like I don't know. Like Sam Slick is kind of like a. I'm not saying he's an exception to the rule, but it's like it's like 'cause he's a guy who was taking steroids, and it's like I don't know because like I feel like anyone can do what Sam Slick did with no edits and all that. I don't think it's gonna be the same. If that, you know what I'm saying? I don't know.
In Mr. Beast's latest video, I counted 10 cuts in the first 30 seconds.
50 of the biggest streamers in this queue, and whoever leaves last wins that $1 million.
And well, what does this mean? Now, I'm no YouTube expert, nor am I a psychologist, but my prediction for the future is we either see this algorithmic copy and paste slop continue to pervade our YouTube platform, or we enter a renaissance. Literally meaning revival in Latin, we enter the dynasty of diss tracks, let's plays, and actually funny pranks that ruled the internet back in the golden years of 2016. Thank you for watching. Subscribe!
Yeah, those were two good videos.
And today,
Those were two good videos. Honestly, like I said before, I think we're already seeing that. We're already seeing like a lot of YouTubers, people like making raw content, like just not over the top of no edits and stuff like that. And I think Side of Clown is kind of one of the main YouTubers that I like to watch because like I said, like he just talks to the camera. He doesn't do anything crazy. Like yes, he has a skit channel. That's like where he got like that's where his fan base, is and stuff like that. But it's like you have a loyal fan base when you can just record a video like this, talk to people on stream and just don't have to do any over the top. You don't have to sell your soul, put on an act. You just be yourself and talk to the camera and make a video. That's the old school YouTube that we're like, we're missing. And I feel like people like him, and there's other people, but I think people like him that's kind of like showing that that is still there, that people want to still see it. So it kind of is good that it kind of is good that there's some hope, but honestly, like I'm just tired of seeing like I can't like most of these people who make videos like that, like the Mr. Beast type videos. Honestly, I don't watch them because it's just unwatchable. It's just so cringe and corny and kind of like it just feels fake to me. Um, and I know, and most of the creators who make videos like that, they're stressing. They're always stressing because you always got to find something big, something that, bro. If I was at that point where I'm I'm like have millions of subscribers and all that stuff, why would I even keep making over the top content? I'm just gonna just drop the quality. Like I'm not dropping the quality, but like in terms of the video, but in terms of like all these edits and thumbnails, I'm not, bro. There's no point. I already have a loyal fan base. Just chill, you know what I mean? But it is what it is. Um, that's just me though. But like I said, I prefer like Side of Clown's content, like stuff like that, where like long term he will last more than all these other people because most of these people who are doing that like that type of content are gonna face burnout. And I'm just saying, and I feel like they already face burnout right now, and they gotta have a YouTube strategist to help them come up with ideas. And I'm pretty sure when you're making raw content like that, you don't need a strategist because you're just all you are is your personality and your character and your creative mind. And you're just chilling. So you don't need to think anything hard. You can just have real life conversations, connect with your audience, and have fun. But I don't know, bro.